Hey guys, I'm Jameson with Rogue Engineer, and today I'm going to show you how we built this coffee table for about $100 in materials. Let's get started. Now the wood we're going to be using for this project is 5 2x10 by 10s, and that's going to give us enough for the tabletop and 2 legs. 5 boards are going to get glued together for the tabletop, and then 4 of the 2 footers are going to get glued together for each leg. Now before we glued everything together, we actually ran the edges through the jointer as well as the top and bottom surfaces through the planer, and that's just gonna give us, the jointer is gonna give us a nice straight edge to be able to glue up together. The planer is just gonna clean up the top and bottom of the boards. However, that step is not necessary. You could just run it through the table saw if you want to get that square edge. But if you don't do that, then just know that you're gonna end up with a little groove there at each joint. Before we go any further, I want to take a second to thank our sponsor for this video, Ryobi Tools. Now we all know Ryobi has an expansive line of 18-volt power tools. However, something you might not know is that their 40-volt line of outdoor power tools is equally as impressive. A couple of my favorites for this season is the Whisper Series blower, which is incredibly quiet yet has all the power that you need to move leaves around the yard, as well as the 16-inch brushless chainsaw, which again has tons of power for cutting down trees and turning them into firewood. They also make an inverter, which is perfect for taking that 40-volt battery and turning it into a remote power source, which we actually use for string lights down by the fire pit. In the unfortunate event of a power outage, or if you're just tailgating and need some remote power, they also make a 2300 watt gas generator that is super quiet and also has tons of great features like CO detect and Bluetooth connectivity. So if you want to learn more about Ryobi outdoor tools, make sure you check them out at ryobitools.com. As for gluing the top up, I went ahead and cut the boards down just a little bit longer than I needed to, and then I followed up by marking about 4 to 5 locations along each joint, and then that gave me a spot to put in a biscuit. Now since the top is as big as it is, having biscuits to align that top as you're gluing them up just helps with the glue up process. Now, if you don't have large clamps, you don't have a biscuit joiner and all that stuff, you could use pocket holes for this assembly process as far as gluing and screwing the top together. Those pocket hole screws are gonna act as the clamp while the glue dries, and the glue is what's going to provide that strength at each joint. So as I said with the top, we cut everything down just a little bit longer. Once we got it all glued up, then we could cut the ends off and cut it down to its final size. And we did the same thing with the legs. We used 2-foot sections for each leg. And then once we got all of that glued up, then we could cut it down to its final height of 15 inches. When we were doing that, we decided to add a little detail to the bottom, and we created this little foot-like recess in the bottom of the leg. Now the center support is a 2x6. I measured the tabletop and then I just subtracted 6 inches to cut that 2x6 down to length. That's gonna give us a 3-inch overhang from the end of the tenon on each side of the tabletop. Then I cut the tenons on the end of the 2x6, and what I did was I made sure that the tenon was cut deep enough so that about 3 inches of the tenon hung through or past the end of the leg. So I added 3 inches plus the thickness of the leg. And then I cut in 1 inch on top and bottom of that 2x6. Once we got the tenons cut on each side of the board, I then took the board and laid it out in the center of the leg and traced the outside of that tenon, and then proceeded to cut the mortise on each of those legs. Now the mortise is where the tenon is going to slide into. However, in order to trap that mortise in there, we needed to cut a pocket on the outside of the leg where we could slide a peg or a dowel or a tusk, I think is also referred to. And that's just going to trap that tenon in there and stiffen up the substructure of the coffee table. So once we got the tenon to slide nicely through the leg, I went ahead and placed that peg where I wanted to on the outside of that tenon. And as for the pegs, I just used the offcuts from the tenon actually. But I placed that and then traced it on the tenon, pulled that 2x6 back out, and then cut out that tenon and used a chisel just to kind of clean it up until I could get that peg to slide in there nicely. Now with all the pieces assembled, we can move on to the sanding process, which is actually the most time-consuming step of this entire build. It's just a lot of surface area to sand, and you want everything, especially since this top is glued up, you want all those joints to be nice and smooth. So we took our time with that and sanded up to 120 grit, which is good for staining to allow the wood to absorb the stain. And we applied wood filler to the spots that needed any cracks or any spots that needed a little fill. So once we got all that done, then I went ahead and assembled the base for a fit check just to make sure everything was fitting together nicely. And then I went ahead and cut some recesses in the top of each leg, and I used a 6-hole plate to attach to the top of the leg in 3 locations. That way we could then screw up into the top and secure it that way, so we don't have any exposed pocket holes or what have you in the leg itself. With everything fitting how we wanted it to fit, then we could actually disassemble it and start the finishing process. Now for the finishing process, we went with a stain finish and a wipe-on polyurethane to clear coat it and protect that finish. Now for the stain, we actually used a mixture of 2 stains. One was called Pickled Oak from Minwax, and the other one was Briar Smoke from Varathane. We just added a little bit of that Briar Smoke to it, which is a darker stain to kind of darken up that lighter grayish Pickled Oak color. Now with the finishing process out of the way, then we can move on to the final assembly. We started by sliding that 2x6 into the mortise in each one of the legs, and then we added that peg to secure it for a nice sound base. Once we got the base assembled, then we can move on to installing the clips onto the top of each leg. Now the top of each leg got 3 of those clips, and we screwed those into the top of that leg, and then we flipped the whole base over onto the bottom of the top and then secured it to the top. So now it's time for the big debut. We're gonna move this thing into the house and see how it looks.
To the rhythm of the violent breeze.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this project. We love how it turned out. And however, this is an oversized coffee table, it could easily be pared down to fit your needs and suit your space. As always, the full plans will be offered on my website. There's a button right there that will take you right to those. And until next time, be safe and happy building.